Hey everybody, welcome to the Roundtable. I'm David Zhang, and with us today we have Cassie Zhang from The Perspective, as well as Fangwei from Fangwei Time. It's my first real day here, and I noticed something very interesting. A lot of the people that I've been following online, on Instagram, on different social media, YouTube, etc., they're all here. And they're all very, these are young creators, and they brought with them their influence, obviously, in their social media. But that's something different. I didn't see as many in the Republicans sort of form.
Right. I just read a report saying that the DNC actually especially brought over 200 influencers to the DNC, to the conference, to report on it so that, they can make their influence.
Yeah, and I do have a question for you, David, because just like Democrat and Republican, they are on their own island, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Young people and older people, they seem to be on their own parallel world too.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, David, being a young people, can observe things that we don't. My question is this: for those influencers, what type of influencers are they? Are they all on just politics or all across the spectrum?
So, very interesting question. You'll notice that it's a divide, so a lot of them don't do any political content. A lot of them do strictly political content. Now, most of these, let's say on TikTok, right, there's credible evidence to suggest that certain content is promoted more than others.
Right.
So let's say if you are talking for entertainment, or if you're doing something that's like comedy, those are very liked. Also, if you're doing political content that's not on China, etc., it's also promoted pretty well. So I think the job of these influencers isn't necessarily the content themselves, but it's that they are here, and the viewers, when they post about this event, it tells them that, hey, look, this party values my opinion. It doesn't even matter if I'm a food show, host, or if I'm a comedic creator. It doesn't matter, but I'm here at this event. They value me. Yeah.
So if you have to guess, or if you know, why do they come?
I think honestly, for a lot of the so-called traditional media, right, they're not reaching the space that the younger people are doing.
Okay.
And the younger people are not reaching into it's the traditional space. So it's almost like if they can build off of each other's influence, I think it's a win-win situation for their own growth in terms of who they're reaching. But at the same time, I also think that many of them are seeing this as almost like a fun experience.
Okay.
So for me, for example, I'm here because I want to not necessarily support any side, but I want to learn about what's happening on the ground. This is something in the digital age that's been missing a lot. People, even traditional media, we're not doing traditional reportings anymore, right? We're just sitting behind the camera, we're doing those reporting. So this is a different experience.
So hypothetical questions.
Yeah.
Let's say if last month the RNC also invite, you guys, would they come? Would you come?
So that's a really interesting question. I was thinking about this on the way here. I've noticed actually on the right side, the influencers, even the influencers, they tend to be a little bit older, and they tend to be a little bit more, I guess you would say, educated, right? A lot of these are like lawyers, or they're doctors of some sort. They're like philosophical, right? But on the other side, at the DNC, I see a lot of these are young people. Many of them are still in college, and so it's a very different sort of group of influencer. Even you mentioned the age gap.
Okay.
It's even apparent in those two areas too.
Okay. So I think probably RNC just forgot inviting them. But if they did, how many percentage do you think they would come if they're sincere enough?
It's the same group of people.
Yeah.
I honestly think, to be honest, I think a little bit less, because I do believe the younger creators tend to lean more Democrat.
Okay.
But I think those that would come would still enjoy it, because I met some creators that I even follow here. They're not necessarily Democrats or Republicans, or at least they haven't shown which side they support. But yeah, I mean, they really don't have a restriction on which side to support. Like, for example, me, I cover China. It doesn't really matter if I'm talking to the left or the right. It's a common question right now, right, for both sides. So
So I'm just curious, because you pointed out to us one of the influencers, right?
So
He's like showing, like how to wear, how to wear, right? But I'm curious, do you know how they cover the DNC?
It's very interesting. I think they're here on I think the DNC, at least from my understanding, is they don't necessarily want you to be like, CNN or MSNBC being like, we're here to support the political side of the arguments, right? But they're here to say that this organization invited us. They think we're a part of the voice, So whatever we say, even if it just means taking photos or being interviewed, it tells the viewers that they have that, hey, look, I'm being recognized in mainstream society in this part of the politics. So I think it, if anything, adds a lot of pressure for the Republicans to do the same. Now, as we know that Trump also, he joined TikTok, he wants to appeal to the younger audience. I think it forces the other side to change up their strategy a little bit. I think that's what the DNC is doing.
Yeah, on the positive side, it's like a good approach, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the younger voters tend to be, as they get older, obviously they might change from a Democrat voter to a Republican. But when they're in their 20s or even the first time voting at the age of 18, you're going to find a lot of they're talking about the Democrats. So I think it's pretty normal sort of phenomenon. And I think that's just the reality of the sort of voter division in the United States.
So talking about young people, I want to ask you about a person that young people really adore. Okay, this is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He's getting very close with Trump.
Yeah.
And then they have I don't know who interviewed whom, but they have a close talk for almost like 2 or 3 hours. 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then he just posted something yesterday while I was in the DNC. He said he posted a picture saying that he became
ready to serve.
Yeah, Secretary of the Department of the Government Efficiency. Wow. Okay. You want to enter the cabinet? Really, I guess it's line up with Trump. Very clearly now. Mm-hmm. So what is the impact of Elon Musk's position on young people? What do you think?
I think the current stream of social media influence is that there's so many channels.
Right.
So the people that reach Elon Musk, or the people that Elon Musk reaches, may not necessarily be the people that others are reaching.
Okay.
That's what I think the DNC is banking on, is that if they invite enough of these creators, then they can cover more than maybe what Elon Musk is doing himself. Now, obviously, I know Elon Musk is huge in the tech world. He even has fans across the globe, right? But if you pit his influence versus 200 people, it's almost like they're banking on saying that we have strength in numbers, and they have one. They have one guy who is really strong supporting that, but we have all these other. I won't say which one is definitely more powerful in their influence, but I do think that what Elon has is an advantage because he has a platform, whereas these creators, they have to rely on different platforms. I think that's where things are a little bit different. So if it were up to me, my opinion is that especially I think it actually goes into even the division between male voters and female voters. Young female voters tend to be Democrat voters. Young male voters actually are now switching to the Republican Party. Especially, I'll actually add another example. Recently, Trump did a golf video with another YouTuber. They play golf for 3 hours, and in the comments you can see mostly are young guys. They're saying, "Wow, I can't believe I watched Trump play golf for 3 hours." And they're like, "Wow, I can't believe Trump is so good at golf." So you see that it's like suddenly you're like, "Oh, okay, even Trump can be an influencer for young people." But it's about choosing, which it's a big division. So it's like almost like, it's like someone likes chicken, someone likes fish, right? It's like everybody has different sort of taste. How do you find a way you can cover most of that is, I think, the important question.
Yeah, it's really a different age now. It's a different,
exactly.
Digital and the social media age. For the candidates, they really have to find the ways to connect with different age of voters.
Exactly, and I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you support one side or the other. I think at least policies have to make sense. So I think no matter how many people are here or how many people are on the other side, I think voters shouldn't care enough about this, but rather if the policies they support really do make sense to them, not if how many millions of subscribers this guy has to back it up.
Right.
I think that's an important.
Yeah, that's really what I wish for. If the young people are willing to look into the behind the policy, right, understand the essence of it, and then decide how to and who to vote for.
Exactly.
I think that would be the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching the roundtable, and thanks again for joining us here at DNC 2024. All right, until next time. Bye bye.
All right.
Bye.